Tonight's tactical enhancement is gin and tonic with lime. Tonight we're playing Warhammer, the old world. It's a stinking hot night in the middle of a heat wave, so you'll hear a whole lot of noise from the fan and whatever comes in from outside, because we've got the gaming garage open right up to try and catch some evening air. And this is the third game, pitching each of my Warhammer armies against Andrew's new shiny yellow army. And if you've seen the other videos, you would have seen it again before, but there's 20 odd great swords, war wagon, tank, volley gun, a dozen or so crossbow, some knightly fellow on a Pegasus, general on a griffin.
He's big griffin this time.
Oh, the big griffin, you're taking the big one.
Yeah, he's on a different base now. He's on like a bigger base.
Oh, you tooled up your griffin.
Well, only 30 points, and you get an extra wound and an extra point of strength.
Well, that's definitely worthwhile. And then we have the little guys, 40 something odd spear. Okay, you're saying you've done something different with your mage. What's going on with him?
He's level 3 now.
Oh fuck, I don't need that.
And he's got some book that gives him +1 to cast certain laws of magic.
Right.
And it gives him another spell.
Okay.
So he's level 3, so he can roll 4 spells, but he can still only cast 3 spells.
Oh, okay, so it's got a broader selection.
Yes, and he gets a +1 to cast any of those spells.
Okay. And what have you done differently with your character?
Oh, so the general, so I dropped the Ogre Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he's ever actually done anything with it, and it cost 75 points. So I just gave him a Great Weapon, and I've given him a 5-up ward, and taken the Imperial Griffin rather than the Standard Griffin. That's over 30 points. So he's got 7 wounds now, the Griffin's strength 6, and he's got a 5-up ward, and I think that's all I gave him.
He's got a 5-up ward.
And a 3-up save.
3-up armour. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty chunky. Alright, any other major changes? You had to do something different to pay for all of that. How'd you manage that?
I dropped the unit of archers.
Oh, yep.
Dropped the Ogre Blade. Dropped the Dawnstone on my Pegasus guy.
Oh, what does that do?
They always get to reroll 1 for armour saves.
Oh, okay.
And in 4 games, I've never used it.
That? Right, okay. So
you watch me roll once for my armour save tonight.
Well, I certainly hope so.
So that was 35 points. And I dropped the Ruby Ring of Ruin, that was 35 points. So yeah. Oh, my engineer's got his blunderbuss back thing now.
Oh, he's got that again?
Yep.
That's something to look for.
Multi-barrel grenade launching blah 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 thing.
Woohoo!
And that's it, that's really the only changes.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Because of course we have no shooting and no magic in my army. If you've seen this channel, you've seen this many times. Okay, so 20 units of 23 of the Bloodletters. No upgrades, no banners or anything, including on the lead one. That's so I could get all the stuff that I want to make the basic army work. I have tooled up my Bloodthirster a little bit. He's got the armor, so his 5+ ward will work against magic weapons as well, because normal demon wards don't work against magic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't work against magic weapons. So if you go at them with a sword of strength or something,
yeah,
then no ward.
Oh, I haven't actually taken any magic weapons. Sorry. I mean, he did have an Ogre Blade.
Maybe huck a fireball at him would probably matter.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I thought I'd better take that just in case you take any wompy sticks on your characters. And I've given him the Great Axe. So it's a 2-handed weapon, always strike last, but +2 strength, -3 to armor.
Ouch.
And if I roll a 6, it's also an extra -2. It's rending 2. And it's a monster slayer.
So what does that mean?
Well, it's only going to matter for your guy who's actually riding a monster, but it's basically killing blow for monsters.
Also, if you roll 6 to 1, it kills him.
Well, he gets his ward save, but no regen and no armor.
Okay, it only works on 6 if you roll a wound, is that right?
6 to wound, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. So probably want to be picking and choosing what you fight to. I thought I'd better let you know about that, because if I announce it in combat,
That would be rude.
something may get hurt. Anywhere between feelings, jaws, and toys being thrown across the room.
Bloodthirster flying to the table.
Yeah. Let's see which is more aerodynamic.
Well, we generally play with open lists so that there aren't really too many surprises. Really.
Oh, that's right. It's a friendly game. We're not here to fuck over the guy at a tournament. So that's what we've got. We should do a quick bit of a deployment, and then we'll check in after that. Right, we're all deployed. Andrew won the roll to choose his edge, which is usually a case of wherever the hell your miniatures were plonked down in the first place. Crossbow is holding the flank, a tank holding the flank. Centre is occupied by a very conventional line of spear. Level 3 mage in there somewhere. Oh,
He's just there.
oh, there he is. Okay, next to the volley gun and the great swords. These little fellas came trotting out in front to, I don't know what exactly, but they're there.
Make a nuisance of themselves somewhere.
Yes, this lot came down on the flank when it saw what I'd put down on the flank, and then he put his general down after I deployed my general, because Andrew actually had more drops than me. So it may be a general versus bloodthirster contest, and if that's the case, I think...
I don't really like that idea too much.
Oh, but I tell you what, it'll be a feather in his cap if he does it. I did
How
think...
much is that bloodthirster worth?
400 and something.
Like I said, massively outweighs this guy.
Well, what's he worth?
300 and something. He doesn't have the overblade anymore. So.
Yeah, so he's not too far off.
Oh, he's 50% more expensive at least.
I had thought about going after that the tank with my bloodthirster, but there's no real avenue of attack toward it. It doesn't leave me vulnerable to getting blasted on the way in. And I don't really want that, because bloodthirsters are a bit of a glass cannon.
290 points is worth.
Oh, alright, so I outweigh him by a ratio of about 3 to 4 or 3 to 2, something like 2 to 3, something like that. We'll see how we go. But he's all about the attack, this fellow. He's not that resilient. Yeah, so that's about it. I have put my doggy woggies in front of the cavalry here, partly to screen them from the volley gun, and partly because I've got a sneaky suspicion that if I get baited by something, I don't want it to be the heavy cav that gets baited and charges off in the wrong direction. So, on that note, we'll roll the dice for who goes first. I'll get a +1 because Andrew... Oh, no, I need it. Oh, there we go. We get first turn. That bodes well. Alright, we'll check in at the end of Chaos Demons turn 1. End of Khorne turn 1, as usual, it was fairly quick. And guess what? We're coming right at them. Everyone went forward their full speed. Everybody. So what I've tried to do is position those dogs so they'll screen against the organ gun, against these big boys, although that cannon may still get around through. We'll see how they go. But yeah, otherwise this is run headlong toward the enemy and try not to get shot too much on the way in. And then Andrew will possibly do something a bit cunning to offset the dangers inherent to what we're doing. And that's it. Over to Empire turn 1. Empire turn 1, and they're coming right at us. That's weird. This thing charged my Chaos Hounds, the whatever they are, Flesh Hounds. Bumped off 9 out of 10 wounds actually, and I did nothing in return, mostly because of the, well, I rolled a bit shit, and their armour worked. I wasn't expecting a lot out of that match off, even though the war wagon apparently costs even less, but still. On the other hand, that war wagon is going to get the shit kicked out of it next turn. Over here, okay, so they advanced the line, and they put this blast marker on the magic in between these guys here, which makes that difficult ground. It has other effects as well, but they're irrelevant to demons, like causing panic, etc. Advanced the tank, canistered the blood crushers, did a steam gun on them and all that sort of thing. couple of wounds off of those guys, and then everything else, the magic and the cannon and so on, went into this lot and bumped off quite a bit. The organ gun didn't roll up a lot of shots, but of the shots that did roll up, a lot of them rolled to wound, which is not surprising. I think it only needed 2s, but yeah, it did what it does. Meanwhile, this lot's come around here to present a problem for my line. I'll present a problem back to him in a minute, but got to think a little bit about how I'm going to handle the situation. I've also got to think a little bit about how to handle the steam tank, because he's rather in the way. I have some ideas, I don't know if they'll work. On that note, I better stop talking about what I shoulda, woulda, coulda done, and get in there and chop up some humies, I guess.
Just kill some spearmen.
Yes, we've been looking forward to a proper fight with the spearmen for a long time. They don't seem to get many of those.
No.
People avoid them for some reason.
Yes, and it's partly my fault. I put them in some stupid places at certain points in games. So I thought I'll chuck them right up the middle this time.
Seems like a great idea.
Blood on blood.
Okay, well, on that note, we'll check in at the end of Daemons turn 2. End of Daemons turn 2. It's been a turn of mixed results. We barreled on in over here and smashed the war wagon about as efficiently as you would imagine. I did roll a lot of 1s, especially on the big boy, but even so, it bumped him off. We reformed on the spot, ready to head this way. Over here, we had a bit of a drama. I charged these units in. I took a little bit of damage on the way in over that template. Yeah, maybe a bit more than I should have, but shit happens. In the fight, the ward save that Andrew had put on these guys worked a treat. I couldn't make saves very well on my case, and in fact, I completely whiffed. He challenged out my Juggernaut champion with his champion. I completely whiffed with my champion, and he did a wound back to me. That's how bad it was. And we bumped off a few guys, but his ward saves worked. Mine didn't work very well. And in the end, the Empire won by 1. And I rolled pretty crap. But fortunately, I took the banner of Eternal War. It's the black one there. Which means I get a D3 reduction to the amount of wounds I have to suffer from demonic instability. And that saved me from taking an extra wound or 2. In fact, yeah, one of these dogs there is only there because of that banner. I would have lost 2 wounds otherwise. So that's a bit crap, and now we're in a fight. And there's a tank in the way. Andrew uses them as a roadblock. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough fight at this point, but on the other hand, he's got 1 good shot left with the volley gun before some of this stuff gets in there. He will charge these fellas in. They'll do some damage over here. That'll be annoying. Probably might even bump off that unit. We'll see how it goes. I decided to move that unit out of the way of the organ gun rather than try and muck around with facing this guy. Because either way, that unit's in trouble. They're effectively ablative at this point. You may decide to go for some other guys as an easier target instead. We will see. Anyway, on that note, we will check in at the end of Empire turn 2. End of turn 2 Empire. Very unsurprisingly, these guys charged into the back of this unit, and by some miracle managed to lose. And they bumped off 3 guys, but then they had to use their standard bearer to re-roll. Otherwise, the general would have fucked right off. I'm starting to have my reservations about that fella. As it was, we held off from following up. They both got pushed back too. We held up from following up so I can charge next turn to get the extra strength. He turned the volley gun on this bunch of guys over here and bumped off a lot. Out of 14 wounds that he did, because that thing, it just continues to roll up a fucking storm. The tank actually wasn't as bad in comparison, but I took 14 wounds on that unit and I made a grand total of 5 ward saves, so that was a bit shit. In the fight here against the rank and file, I did very little to them. I mean, the ward saves are fine, they work and all, but I just rolled up crap. On the other hand, I did manage to bump off the champion. You see, that's the only casualties that 3 dogs and 2 juggers took out of this unit in this turn. But then when it came to the leadership, the dogs rolled low, but because these guys have their rank bonus back, It was a crazy combat resolution, which is exactly what Andrew's designed this army for. So, yeah, I was hoping to do a lot of casualties in order to offset that. But then, for the morale for the Juggernaut unit, I rolled Snake Eyes. So, happy days. Still there. Means these guys don't get to careen up the back of my my unit, although not they necessarily would have been able to, because they wouldn't have been able to follow up, but it would have been rather an unfortunate positioning. So that leaves us Demons turn 3. And look, the best thing about this is I really thought Andrew was going to turn the volley gun on my Greater Demon, which would have rendered him much more vulnerable to mayhem later on.
Still have to move him now.
I do have to move him, but you know what? I'm going to have a bit of a think about what to do. I have options to charge different things, and I'm going to have a bit of a think about that. Anyway, we will check in at the end of turn 3, Demons. End of Demons turn 3. Right, well, we did the obvious. We charged the steam tank, which I probably should have done a turn ago. We charged these guys. Rather than have this guy running headlong in front of the cannon and still not being able to charge anything, I thought I'd move him out of the way of the cannon and not charge anything. This slot, though, I want to get them in the game, so I'm going to have to brave the gun, and the gun will have to make some difficult choices next turn. Well, then again, he may roll up a storm with magic and whatnot. In the fight, what can I say? That thing rolled reasonably well. Killed a few of them off. We bumped off a wound. Was it just one wound off of that thing?
Yeah, it's down to 9 wounds now.
Yeah, I didn't do very well. Over here, still didn't do very well, but I've noticed two things in today's game so far. One is I'm not being aggressive enough, so I'm not putting enough pressure on Andrew. That's been half the problem. The other half of the problem is that his saves are working and mine aren't. It's been... Yeah, I've not been able to save very many ward saves over here, whereas this fella has been saving so many that if he wasn't passing on his ward saves, he'd be almost dead by now. Actually, he did manage to put a few wounds on him.
Starts with 7.
Yeah, he starts with 7. We'd be down by a couple by now. Yeah. And the only reason this unit's here at all is because of that banner, which does the... I rolled up 3 for... was it Infernal Favour or whatever it is, which helped with the low morale test to keep these guys from losing any more guys from the massive walloping amount of attacks these two fellas put on them. But we're going into the Empire turn now, which means that this lot are going to charge into these guys and polish them off, or they'll reform to deal with something else, because these guys are quite capable of polishing them off by themselves. At any rate, we'll check in at the end of Empire turn 3. End of turn 3, Empire. He charged these guys in, who did no damage, took 2 casualties, and did take an extra one though, because I challenged out his champion using my Herald. Over here, they blasted away, and the only thing that actually did any damage to this guy was actually the archers. They took a wound off him. The volley gun blew away one of these in full. Andrew has yet to do anything serious to his volley gun in game after game, shot after shot, in terms of misfires. How many was it this time? 24?
Yeah.
24, 12 of them hit. Yeah, that sucked. He's turned these guys around to face. It's the appropriate thing to do.
I'm just going to reform those characters after close combat too.
Yeah, over here, these guys charged into the back of my bloodletters, which is always going to polish them off. But, you know, we had a challenge going and everything, and what can I say? It's a dice day. Andrew's not doing anything particularly mean, wrong, cunning, nasty. His dice are actually pretty average, but it's just fucking horrific. So I'm really not having a lot of success. Half of it's my own making, I've got to be honest. I've not been aggressive enough against Andrew. I've sent a flank attack around thinking there'd still be a flank to hit and a fight going on in the middle, but that fight in the middle was well and truly lost before I had a chance to do anything, so that sucks. That said, fuck it, we're going to go into turn 4 Demons. Right, end of turn 4 for the Demons. Okay, we charged the Greater Demon and these couple of guys into a unit of great swords bumped off 10. They are stubborn though, so they fell back just enough to clip this unit and bounce over the top. That was annoying. We then followed through into this unit whilst in the pursuit of this unit. My doggy got through some fire and took out one crewman for the cannon, so that fight's ongoing. Over here I bumped off 4 of the crossbow, and we're finding it's getting quite finicky with specific little rules here and there that make all the difference between who wins or loses, because it's that close. It's like 1 here, 1 there is the difference in victory or loss, which really matters with the demons. That's about it. So we'll go now into turn 4 for the I just think it's going to get a bit interesting over there. I'm hanging on by a thread trying to kill that cannon. We will now go into turn 4 for the Empire. End of turn 4, Empire. Well, let's see. We're bumping off the crossbows, and I should have charged the fuckers instead of mucking around with the tank in hindsight. I would have got rid of them by now. Doggy killed another crewman. And won the combat because nobody did anything back, which caused the engineer to run away after he did nothing. We crashed into the flank of the spear, and we actually lost a bit of time figuring out whether they could reform to face during their own turn before the combat, but it turns out you have to win a round of combat first. So we bumped off how many? 11? 11, yeah, there's only half that unit left now. But of course they bounced into these guys and bounced off the top, so these two units are leapfrogging each other. So we pursued, got fuck all for the Greater Demon, but I got a huge amount for the Juggernauts, and they crashed into this unit, which is good. I suppose I just would have crashed into them anyway. It's my turn next, but you know, it's fun. So we're just going to go straight into it because we're running really short of time, and we'll try and get at least turn 5 in. Right, well, turn 5 is fast, and might I say we've depopulated the battlefield quite effectively. That fight continued. They're down to 1 troop in the crossbow, but the tank has bumped off the last of my bloodletters. Over here, the dog and that crewman both whiffed. Over here, we bumped off the remaining 10 greatswords and then some, and just barreled through into the spear. And it's that time of night where we're forgetting who's dead and who's alive on the table at this point. Either way, over to turn 5, Empire. End of Empire, turn 5. Yes, because I followed through into this combat here. Right, so we bumped off a bunch of these guys, but the mage got the ward save off, which is really the only thing that he did. And you did a whomping amount of saves. I did, I think, 6 wounds with my Greater Demon to these guys, and you made 5 wards out of that.
Yeah.
That was spectacular. We still won, but not by anywhere near as much as we would have liked. We don't have first charge anymore, not for a long time now. So that banner is still in effect, even though it's only 2 wounds going up to 4, and that makes quite a significant difference. In fact, the difference between running away or not this turn. What else happened? That thing bumped off my last Herald and turned to face, so no 2 guesses what it's going to do next turn. And over here, this guy came galloping in to save the cannon, where the engineer had not, perhaps inspired the engineer enough to stop running. On that note, we'll just do turn 6 for the demons. We'll check in after that. Alright, end of turn 6 for both sides now. I can't even remember if I filmed turn 6 for the demons, but it's all over Red Rover. We kept bashing at these guys, but Andrew kept mustering up saves of 5+, and they're just not dying. And then they're doing really good leadership roles and not running away. Really annoying. That thing didn't quite roll up enough to charge into these guys, and for some reason Andrew hadn't turned him around after the last fight in order to charge me up the backside. So,
It's too far away.
So anyway, these guys are here. We're going to work out some victory points. It's looking rather good for the Empire, and then we'll explain mostly what I did horribly wrong. Alright, in the points wash up. Andrew got 1668 out of my army, which is not entirely surprising. That's all that's left. And including the cannon, 25%, what did I get out of you?
So you got 796.
Plus a bit for the cannon.
Yes, so you got the whole unit of great swords, the whole unit of crossbows.
Mm-hmm.
Got the war wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, you got him down to. He's only on 1 wound. 853.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's it. He's still got 9 wounds. He's still on 4 wounds.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and how much was that unit of spear, including standard bearer, worth?
you got 218 points out of it.
Yeah, so I would have got that again.
But no, if I changed, you would have got 436 if you'd killed it all.
Yeah, I still would have
Plus
lost.
you would have got the BSB as well.
4, 5, 6. It would have brought us fairly close to each other. Would have been nearly a tie. You still would have had the advantage.
In total, if you got the BSB as well, you would have got 1,219 points.
Yeah, I still would have lost. Okay, so what have we learned?
Empire is super resilient.
Yeah, they are these days. That's something which, notwithstanding that banner's really good, it says something about having the power to cast lots of spells. So I got fuck all ability to dispel in this army. And your saves were staggering, I have to say.
That ward save is just fantastic.
Yeah. Now, I spent the middle part of the game bitching about my dice. There was a bit of rubber band effect toward the end when I started actually hitting things properly and smashing them. But I think the bottom line is I wasn't aggressive enough with my army.
I think it was too much on the flank. Do you reckon it was too much on the flank?
Look, yes and no, in that the general idea was to smash in the middle and then come around the side, because lines tend to hold on for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Now, that swing around the side did happen, and it smashed the unit it hit, and it bashed everything else along here, and I damn near got rid of this fucking spear.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't get rid of the spear is because, your ward saves were rotting up a tree.
Yeah, but I mean, we just worked it out. Even if you wipe them out.
Yeah. So this brings us to the other bit where I wasn't aggressive enough. I should have sent everything into the tank right up front.
Should have killed it with your bloodthirster.
Well, I thought, yeah, that option 1 was to go after your character with the bloodthirster instead of sending him around the flank. So I reckon those blood crushers probably would have done alright on the flank by themselves, but I would have been held up by the war wagon. I would have beaten it with the blood crushers eventually.
Yeah.
Because they got a good minus on their strength 5 minus 2 and all that.
Yeah.
This guy here, instead of fucking around and trying to be clever, I should have gone after that guy when he was right in front of me
Yep.
and just killed him.
Yep.
It might have been the entire game for my character, but that guy was a nightmare. I could have just bumped him off.
Yeah, that turn where you were sitting in this building, and I had both my. I was going to just flee with them.
Well, that's the other thing.
I'll just flee.
You have to be locked in combat for me to catch you.
Yeah.
So you run away.
And they're leadership 10, so they'll rally. And
Yeah.
then I can just countercharge with my spearman and just hold him up all day.
Well, yeah, so that was never going to happen. But if I'd sent my character up earlier in the battle
Yeah.
and started jumping on things sooner,
But he's a large target, and there's a cannon, there's a blaster.
yeah, that's why I sent up by. Is either going to go up by cover there or cover there. I did think about sending him up on this flank and going for your tank.
Yeah.
It might not have been a bad idea because I'm pretty sure that can't run. And this guy's strength 8 with the minus 3.
Perfectly suited to killing a steam tank.
Yeah. As it is, he helped out these juggers. He ensured success instead of being bogged down in combat for a prolonged period of time. That's fine and all. But I could have hit that tank much earlier with my entire unit of bloodletters before they'd been shot up. That would have spared them several casualties. And the unit that was charging up the middle that I put in position to provide flank protection against your big birdie. They would have struggled to make a charge, but I know they had a difficult situation. It was either provide rear protection against your character, or move in at the double and then maybe make contact the next turn. But it was a bit of a lose-lose scenario for those guys. I think the bottom line is I had to move faster to get into combat.
Yeah, because I ganged up on your units here, and they died pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, you did everything properly. And I think I wasn't aggressive enough for a Khorne player. I think that's what it comes down to.
It was a brutal game, though.
It was the casualty pile amongst the Empire. We've depopulated a few villages.
You've killed 60, 70 Empire soldiers today.
You had left 1 gunner, 1 engineer, 1 mage, 2 heroes, the crew of that thing, and 6 or 7 spearmen.
Yeah, out of 47.
Yeah, so Papa Khorne's happy. There's plenty of skulls. We don't care about casualties at the end of the day. But no, it's a hard-fought victory for the Empire. So you got me twice so far. I've got you once. I'll see what I can do to you next time using my Dark Elves.
Oh, Dark Elves, yeah, cool. Alright, let's do Dark Elves.
I've got a few thoughts about them, but we'll give them a go. Any rate, thanks for watching. Feel free to hit like, subscribe, all that guff. Help the algorithm along with a comment or something. But for now, it's time to call it a night.